Hey everybody, GameHounds podcast. How are you? Sorry we're a little slightly later than what we would normally. No, we're really
We're like on
about
time.
13 minutes later than what we normally do. We're scheduled for 2. We always go 2:20 ish, and now we're at
Okay.
2:30 ish. So we're about 10 minutes later than our normal late. Hi, how are you? How's things? I don't know if you might have noticed, Nick. You may not. That we're back on Facebook and back on Twitter. We are actually broadcasting on Twitter too today. So we
Really?
are on YouTube, we are on Twitch, we are
Broadcasting.
Twitter. Sorry, X, my bad, X, and Facebook. It's always going to be Twitter to me anyway.
It'll be Twitter.
So,
Unless you
we're also,
come
I
at me.
don't know if any of you have noticed. Hey, AC Wraith, welcome back. And yes, you may have noticed that there were some updates to the podcast feed.
Oh,
My God. I have been putting stuff up. I'm trying to catch up on the podcast feed. There are going to be some
Lisbon is
lost
only
episodes.
21 episodes behind instead of 40. That's significant progress. That's
Right.
halfway there.
Yeah. And I figured out a way to post the most recent shows and then backdate the older shows. Because if I was having to do them in order so that they would be in order.
Skip the few, but whatever. I go for anyone I can
They're
get.
lost shows. I actually what I have to do is I have to download the YouTube feed instead of going straight to StreamYard and downloading the audio feed directly, just the straight audio feed. I have to go to YouTube. I have to download them on YouTube and then extract the audio. So it's a little more challenging for those. There are missing episodes, but honestly, at this point, I think that's okay. Sorry.
Hey, like he says, you take what you can get. You take anywhere.
Right. So yeah, we're I'm catching up, and because I have figured out how to backdate episodes, so I can do the most recent episodes and then backdate the missing ones
Oh, so
without getting them out of order.
previously you had to update them in order.
So that
Oh,
the newest one would be on top. So starting at the one the oldest one we still have, and then add them sequentially up to the most
yeah,
recent.
but it had to be in that order. You couldn't.
Right, because otherwise I would put
Mhm.
714, and then if I put 713 after it, 713 would be appearing after 714. So that at the end, the top one would be something that was 40 episodes ago. But I
Yeah.
figured out a way to backdate so that
Okay.
they're going in on the correct order.
Nice.
At least I think. So if that's the case, then I can do the most recent episode now and then just fill in the gap later.
It's you ready to check the Lisbon feed and just tell her it's in order.
All right. I'm there, right? I'm all right. I'm all right with that. So how are you? How is everybody? I'm awesome. Nice and relaxed. I had a wonderful weekend. Had a wonderful week. Stressed out at work. Things are getting interesting at work. Can't talk about it at all, but let's just say things are gotten way more complicated at work than I ever expected it to be. Let's just say he's asking for a raise pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah. My workload just doubled at least.
Oh, geez.
Also, you might notice I have some new jewelry. This is an Aura ring. Are you familiar with them? They're the rings that give you all of your health information, tell you how long you've slept, tell you what your heart rate is, tell you what your temperature is. So if you're getting sick, you'll know before you get sick because your temperature will go up slightly. If if you're trying to conceive, it's also really good for like planning that. Not my problem, but it is possible. Yeah, but and it tells me how long I've slept REM sleep, how long I've slept deep sleep, how many minutes it took me to fall asleep. Gives you a readiness score to say you're at optimal peak performance as far as sleep and blood pressure and all the other indicators for yourself. You're not sick, you're not stressed, So you've exercised, puts you on goals. So yeah, I have that. So yeah, I'll show you. Pull it up. It is let's see.
Yeah, when you first said Aura Ring, I was like, is that
A
like
mood ring. It's
is
not
that like a mood
AURs.
ring, or is it also like one of those I remember when a bunch of golfers would wear like magnetic bracelets
Yeah, all that
because it's like,
crap.
oh yeah, the magnetics encourages blood flow to the hands. And I was like,
No,
mood like Aura Ring.
no.
What is that?
OURA is the name of the company. So, like, for example, that was
Ah,
my sleep last night. Um, and what my sleep cycle was as far as deep sleep. I don't know if you can get to it. Come on, come
I
on.
can see 78, but I can't see
Yeah.
the details.
All right. Yeah, you can't see the details, unfortunately. It should, but it's not. Come
Yeah,
on,
it's not
baby. You can do it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, you can see it.
you
So
got a
yeah.
nice amount of restorative deep sleep.
Yeah. Yep. You can see how long I lazed in bed this morning. So yeah. Um, so yeah, that's a thing that happened. And we'll see if that does any if it's important, if it's good.
I need to do that. I need to focus on sleep.
This is
I,
really good for sleep because I
yeah,
found out I always thought that I maybe might be apneic when I sleep. Apparently I'm not.
that's
Yay.
good. I just need to get like on a better sleep schedule because I stay up way too late and
Yeah, it
sleep
does.
in.
In fact, it gives you a hard time like, "Hey, you really should go to sleep a little bit earlier tonight."
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting good sleep, but you really should get a little bit more by going to bed a little bit early.
yeah.
Or, "Hey, we noticed you might have had a snack right before bed. You probably shouldn't do that." It's like, "Fuckers, ratting me out
Oh
to myself."
no, okay, no, I don't need anyone to rat me out for doing that.
You didn't need to know that, like Zach, I didn't need you to know that I ate that ice cream sundae before bed. No, you didn't need that. So, anyway.
Well, speaking of phones, I've what has taken over my week is also involving a phone.
Oh no.
Um, no, it's good. You know that
Okay.
I've been playing with the Android to create like
Uh-huh.
an emulation device.
Right, right.
I was able to get it working mostly, so I did end up buying the handheld,
Mhm.
and it's going to be on its way. I don't know when, but what's cool is that it's all open, like it's all on Android. It's all open like a Windows computer. So I downloaded a bunch of emulators, got a bunch
Mhm.
of different consoles working, but they're all on different emulators. So like PlayStation is on one, PlayStation 2 is on another,
Right.
DS is on another. But there's front end apps that you can get that organize it all so that it's like, here's the DS,
Oh
here's the
god.
PlayStation, here's the Sony PlayStation. Oh, you know what? I want that. What game do I want? Let's do Parasite Eve. Tap, tap. Yeah, disc one, and then it loads up.
Oh my gosh.
Or I can just
So what is the
exit
name of that
that.
app?
Oh wait, let's go back. Let's do. I haven't gotten 3DS working on here, but let's do DS.
Wow. That's crazy. So what's the
Uh
name of
huh.
that app?
That app is called. Oh, it's a weird one. It's like Daigisho. Daijisho. Daigisho. But there's several front end apps like that, and
Mhm.
I've been watching YouTube videos of like recommended ones, and there's one called Emulation Station
Uh-huh.
that I think might be better for the actual handheld, but it costs like $5, so I'm gonna wait to buy it. Um, but that's what I've been playing around with is basically getting this emulation thing to work on the phone and knowing that okay, I know enough about it now that I want to get this device. And I was able to fit a bunch of games on the phone, but then I ended up buying a 256 gigabyte SD card with the intention of
Okay.
filling that thing with old games so that this little handheld is an archival device. This is going to have everything on it. I've already downloaded
Oh,
about
you have gone so deep down the rabbit hole, my friend.
I have.
Wow. Like you needed that. You needed to finish Baldur's Gate. I mean, I'm right there with you, but you need to finish you need to get into Act 3 of Baldur's Gate
No,
because
I need
that's
more
important.
games. I need more games.
No, you don't. You don't need you do not need more games.
I need to open up the entire past 30 years of video games.
Goalie had a stream this week that I was watching live about why I gave up video games. And
Mm,
it was so funny listening to him talk about the experience of that what led him to ending video games and knowing me, I had been right there watching
yeah.
it happen and could not stop it. And so then I gave up, and then it's like, well, now he'll never come back. And now I'm starting to see it with you. Like I see that this is starting to happen, that you're going to turn into Mr. Maynard and you're going to be playing emulator games. And you're going to be playing nothing but 20-year-old games. And then it's going
Mm,
to be left to me to play all of the other games.
no, because I'm still really enjoying the hell out of Dragon's Dogma 2. And that game, sometimes in that game, I'm like on the top of a mountain and the
Uh-huh.
sun is like just high enough and it's maybe just starting to set. And I'm looking around going like, shit, this looks good. Just
Yeah.
the shadows, the lighting. When
I've got
when
to
I'm
pick it up.
walking
I've got to
through
start
a
playing.
forest and, like, the light is coming down in just all the right ways, and I walk out of the forest into, like, kind of this desert area, and the way the bloom works, I'm like, "Damn, HD games are good." So, no, I'm not gonna shift entirely over.
Okay.
What I have discovered, though, because
Mhm.
I've keep playing Ogre Battle 64 on the Delta emulator on the iPhone,
Mhm.
and what I've kind of realized after playing Marvel Snap was like a really good, deep, thoughtful, intricate, 5-minute card game. And it was really good. But at a certain point, like the card acquisition kind of got boring. And so I kind of fell off of it. But I've been chasing that ever since. Like I wanted a mobile game that was that gamey, right? That thoughtful, that complex, that well designed. I downloaded a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of RPGs, but a lot of them were um, what's the called? Gotcha. A lot of gotcha games that's like, this doesn't really work. A lot of idle stuff, a lot of city building time management was, oh, you've only got X number of energy for the day. And you use that up, and then you kind of can't play anymore unless you spend money. And I thought, I don't want to do this. I just want to play like a nice strategic game, something good and tactical. But I just had trouble finding stuff, and there's got to be it out there, but I couldn't find it on the App Store. Being able to go back to Ogre Battle and the way the save states work, you can save at any moment. Like even in the middle of a load screen, you can save and load the game there.
Mhm.
Way back when, you could only save outside of a battle. And
Right.
the battles themselves could take like 60 to 90 minutes. So back in the day, the save was a little restrictive. But now with the emulator and save states, I can play for 5 minutes, save it, put it down, pick it up later, play for 5 minutes, save, put it down. Like,
Mhm.
and even the way the app works, if I just close the app without saving, it auto saves when the app like kind of shuts down.
Mhm.
So that makes it really easy to pick up and play and go back to. And that has kind of scratched the mobile itch of, oh, maybe modern mobile gaming isn't giving me the, tactical, isn't filling my tactical needs. So the emulator actually works really well, being able to play older, well-designed games on a mobile device.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, this is what the mobile store needs. This is what the app store needs.
Right.
More emulators that let you play like old good games and not mobile shovelware.
Never gonna happen. Never gonna let that happen. Nintendo especially will never let that happen.
Well, they kind of can't stop it because the Delta emulator's out now.
Yep.
Like it's here, and hopefully, there was even a news story on Kotaku about how the Delta emulators want the creators of it want to kind of bring emulation more mainstream by putting this on the App Store, which I think is a real good goal because it allows not only from a preservation standpoint of like, hey, this is a good game from the past and now you can play it without having to jump through a bunch of bullshit hoops.
Right.
But also this is kind of what mobile gaming has been missing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anything else? Actually, you know what? Before we start on this, let's just do this because I mean,
Music?
it's me. Yeah.
This podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. All right, so we've already gone through this. So what else are you playing?
Dragon's Dogma. Like
okay.
lots of Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
That game continues to be just really, really cool.
Yeah.
Exploring stuff, fighting dragons. Dragons are fucking assholes. God, I hate those things. And they
Yeah.
every time I come across a dragon, it kills me. I was able to kill one, and now I'm fuck dragons. But
So,
Dragon's
Ace
Dogma
Ray,
2, very good.
question: is Phone on the Throne similar to Elf on the Shelf?
I mean, you can play Phone on the Throne. That's a good place to play. Absolutely.
But actually, he was watching us, which I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, are you saying he's phoning on the throne?
Yeah, he caught back up because he had to walk away. But he
Phone
caught back up on all the links.
throne. Caught back up. Phone on the throne for the win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I embrace the mobile lifestyle. You want to watch us? GameHounds is everywhere. Watch GameHounds wherever it's convenient for you. You don't have to sit at your computer to watch us. Use your phone. Watch us on the throne. Watch us on the bus. Watch us on a plane. Watch us on a train.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
I do not like your GameHounds, Sam.
Okay, so Dragon's Dogma.
Yes, Dragon Dogma's. I don't know. At this point, I've talked about it so much that I don't know what else I have to say. It just continues to be really, really good.
Where are you at in the game, by the way?
I'm definitely towards the end. I may have like gone a little too far. You explore an RPG and the story quests kind of take you through the world. I kind of ignored some story quests and just kept running in a direction, and now I've gotten into like the end game area, but I haven't done all the story quests to get me there, so I need to like teleport back and do some of those story quests. Because right now it's just such a fun game to wander around.
Right.
Wander around, see what new enemies I can get. It's a lot of fun to just level up one of the classes, unlock new abilities that let you do cool stuff with those classes, because every class plays so differently from each other that, it's almost like a brand new game when you switch classes. And so right now I'm playing has this Mystic Spear Hand, which is a really good offensive class that has this really wonderful ability called Unto Sky. And that's
Sky?
Unto Sky.
Okay.
Which you can upgrade to Unto Heaven. And what that does is it basically sucks smaller enemies into a little vortex, and then you literally hit them like a baseball and just send them rocketing across the
Oh my
map.
God, you're a Louisville Slugger.
And it's a lot of fun because sometimes you encounter a whole bunch of enemies and you're just like, God, all these like little lizards are really annoying because they're everywhere and they've got armor, so you have to hit them from the back and their tail, and it's just like, it's a pain to fight you. So you know what? I'm not going to fight you. And it's very satisfying.
I bet. What's the name of that class? That sounds like a hell of a lot of fun.
Mystic Spear Hand.
Mystic Spear Hand. Okay.
Yeah, you kind of get it around the mid game.
Okay. Hey, I want to point out, here's a blast from the past, a name I haven't seen in a really long time. Lambo Calrissian is back in the house. How you doing? It has been years. Years. Welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah.
So anybody
No,
doing
wait, it has been
Diablo?
years. I feel like he's popped into the chat within
It's been a really long time, Lambo.
within at least a year, 365 days.
No, I think it's been a couple of years since we've seen Lambo.
Has it?
Yep.
Lambo, when was the last time you commented? I feel like it was sooner.
Yeah, I think it was a long time ago. But he did ask about coming back
Yeah.
to Diablo. Anybody, I haven't. I've had my hands full, among other things.
Yeah, I haven't played Diablo.
Yeah, no.
Although
we should.
I did also hear that the latest update to Diablo 4, everyone loves it. Like there was even an article that was like players of Diablo 4 can't believe how good the game is now after getting its update. But since like
Really?
I never touched Diablo 4, I don't really know what this update is, so I just don't know enough to talk about it, but apparently this is a good time to get into Diablo 4.
Maybe you could get me, and we could probably get Goalie back for Diablo because he loved Diablo 3.
Yeah.
Loved Diablo 3. I bet you we can get him back for Diablo 4. That might be fun.
That could be.
But I don't know.
But you know what?
Goalie probably doesn't even have a console that works anymore.
Yeah, does he have an Xbox that could run it?
No, but I mean, if it's multi-platform, then maybe he could probably do it PC.
Oh, that's true.
But I don't know if it's I know so little about it, and I'm sorry, Lambo. We just haven't been. I mean, I'm like 30 minutes away from the end of Baldur's Gate for the last 3 months.
Come on.
I know, I suck.
Although Pist says that he has the Delta emulator. Haven't put a game on it yet though. Let me know if you need some help because it was a little confusing. And that's why I wanted to experiment because it's like you have to get BIOS files for some consoles, but not all consoles. And it's like, wait, where do I get those? What's a good place? Generally, if you just Google like console BIOS files, the first search that comes up is like a safe link and you can trust it. But then it's also like I download these BIOS files for PlayStation 2 and there's like 100 files. I'm like, wait, which one is which? What do I use? So that requires another Google search to figure out what all this means. And it's like, okay, it's a little work to like figure out what's going on, but once you do, it's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the Delta app is actually really, really user friendly.
Is it?
Yeah.
How are they letting this happen? How is especially Nintendo?
Because Europe forced Apple to open its platform to other app stores. And the emulators were kind of included in that.
Right.
And Delta is just the first one out. Actually, since then, there's been other apps to come out on the App Store. Right. One for PlayStation, one for PSP, and then RetroArch, which is kind of like one of the big ones that can do a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. AC Ray says, I was almost tempted by Grim Dawn, but I haven't touched a Diablo style action RPG in years. I like gathering persistent artifacts instead of swapping loot. Well, we might have to play something because how long has it been since we played something together?
I mean, we could
play.
We
were doing that a lot.
Okay, I have wanted to go back to Helldivers. I haven't played Helldivers.
I kind of do too, even though Helldivers is taking such crap right now. Still a great game, but it's taking such crap. But it took so much crap. And that last time that they had a challenge against the bugs won. Because people are essentially, I don't want to say abandoning it, but a lot of people left it after the whole PlayStation mandatory.
Did they leave it? Because I know that when Sony reversed, like all the reviews went positive again.
Right. They actually positive review bombed it to get it back up to where it was. You want in on a game night?
Do you have Diablo? Not Diablo.
Do you have Helldivers?
Helldivers. What's the other? Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. If you have Baldur's Gate, you're absolutely. But you have to be okay with a lot of silly stuff happening. And us doing really crappy things to other people.
Like you have to be okay with lizard nudity.
Hades 2. No, I have not touched Hades 2, but I want to touch Hades 2. I have heard really good things. Another one that I want to actually touch is Manor Lords.
Oh yeah.
That's a flat out ED game. I mean, it's a city building, historically accurate ish, medieval. It's like, that is just my sweet spot right there.
Okay. Yeah, Limbo also says he
Good.
wants the game.
All right. We
gotta
might have to have a game night.
Yeah, we gotta find a game that we all have.
You can go play Chivalry 2 together, just make a whole squad. Have any of you played Chivalry 2?
I have, you know what? That's still installed. On
I know,
the
I do
console.
too. I haven't installed out. Oh, that will be
never
actually
never uninstalled.
That is a fun, silly game for a lot of people, made better by copious amounts of alcohol.
Oh yeah.
So much fun. Because dying, it's really not about winning. It's about dying in spectacular ways.
Yeah. just swing your sword and run into the group and just be like, I want to take someone down with me.
Piss says, I'm still on the beach after the crash in Baldur's Gate. Maybe we should come into your game and fuck up your game. Because we are a nightmare team. You do not want us in there.
Yeah, that's early.
Yeah, we will fuck up your game. So yeah, you don't.
Although it would be fun to just be a completely different class.
True,
right?
but don't fuck up his first playthrough. We would have to actually completionist. We couldn't do what we're doing, which is to murder everything.
No, you just let him set the pace.
Okay.
If he wants to go left instead of right, and we know, hey, there's some stuff to the right, like, yeah, whatever. You want to go left.
Okay, here's the thing. You know what? I don't have to start a game to have you play with me. You know, it's a great idea if you want to play with the Edie and maybe even the Nick, is to start your own game and invite us. Hey, interesting idea, huh? So,
well, actually, now that I think about it, we might have to do that if Baldur's Gate, because I don't think you can join someone's game in progress.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You have to start over a whole new game. So maybe pissed, maybe you want to. But here's an idea for anything, whether it be Helldivers or anything else, that, especially stuff that we've talked about. Dragon's Dogma 2, is that multiplayer or just single player?
No, yeah, just single. But you know what? We should make a Discord channel for like playing together.
Yeah.
Like, hey, when are you free? What games do you have? Blah blah blah.
Yep, absolutely. So start a game and you invite us. Instead of making us figure out a game that you have, you figure out what game you have, and then we'll figure out if we have it, and if not, we'll buy it. Maybe. No guarantees. I mean, because there's some nights I cannot play. And so we'll make a date. Remember, we're your friends. We're not special. We're just your friends. We just happen to be talk to you. We're video chatting with you once a week at exactly the same time for the last 15 years.
Famous internet personalities. Famous.
No.
Absolutely. I get stopped on the street by people asking, hey, do you know where the shop is?
Are you that guy from GameHounds? I had that happen to me once.
Really?
I was at E3 and I had somebody come up and he goes, hey, aren't you from GameHounds? And I was like, and I'm like, do you listen? Because it was a podcast back then. Are you a fan? Do you listen? He's like, no, you're wearing a t-shirt that says GameHounds. I just wanted to fuck with you. It was when we had the GameHounds t-shirts with me and Hawks.
Oh, that's
and I was
good.
like, damn it. Final Fantasy 14, anyone? Oh, no. And Pissed says also sitting in Discord is my specialty. Make me a room. Pissed, Nick, make Pissed a room. Make Pissed room. I'm actually on Discord a lot these days now. Things have changed at work for me to make it necessary that I need to have a little something
Mm.
of my own to break up my day. And so I have actually taken to having the Discord up on my screen, on my second screen at work. It's just constantly up now. So if you ever need to post anything in GameHounds, post it because I will see it now instantly. Mondays through Fridays, generally speaking. But I see it. So, because before I wasn't really checking because I had other stuff to do and I wouldn't look at it at work. But now things are stressful enough at work that actually I have turned to Discord to be my stress release. Because if I don't, then bad things happen to my brain. So,
Also, I would be a little remiss if we didn't say that AC Wraith saying everybody can play Warframe for free. He's been getting really into it again.
Of course he
Because
is.
of an
Was he ever out
intermission.
of it? Was he ever out of the idea of Warframe?
I imagine you go up and down, right? There are.
Cycles?
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems like he's always on cycle. You know, we still have a GameHounds like palace inside of Warframe, right?
Oh yeah, that he made. Yeah.
That he made.
I
It's still
remember
in there. It's
going through it.
massive.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh God, it's like having
I
it's like
remember
having
I made
a massive vacation home you never go to. It just
I
sits vacant.
remember I made a GameHounds patch because you can join clans,
Right.
and you can upload your own image,
Right.
to be like the clan logo. And I remember asking you for the GameHounds logo, and then like downloading a free Photoshop-esque tool to like
Mhm.
cut out the white space to make it transparent, and then uploading that. So we've got like a GameHounds logo patch that you can have on your arm.
Yeah, that was back when we thought we were gonna play a lot of that. So, anything else that you played? Because I did not play anything this week.
No,
Gonna-
just
gonna-
those three things.
Yep. All right. Well then, shall we? And by the way, we're gonna have kind of a short show, because I have to be gone at 4:00
Yeah.
because I have an appointment with urgent care at 4:30 because I think I have an ear infection.
Did the headphones help with that, or
No, it doesn't. I don't feel it. The only time I feel it is when I wake up in the morning. I am so dizzy I can barely walk. And it lasts for a good hour, hour and a half. And then if I bend over and I stand back up, I get just as dizzy. So that tells me it's either an ear infection or it's something else going on in my ears that I have to just wait to go away. But it's pretty significant. So like I'm stumbling in the morning, stumbling around. So yeah, I want to have them look at my ears and see if it's a ear infection. And if it is, get some antibiotics. And if it's not, we'll just have to wait for it to go away, go run its course, whatever it is. All right. So on that note, your mother's ears have been hurting as well. Yeah, it might be something to do with the change in the weather, but I don't typically have that problem. So, yeah, but thank you for posting that. There's the link to Goalie's show about why he why he doesn't miss video games. We gotta get him back. We gotta get him back to Diablo. I think that would be kind of fun to come back to the dark side. All right.
funny. I think I haven't seen that, but I imagine all the stuff that probably turned him off, several years ago, it's only gotten worse.
Somewhat. I mean, one of the things he really hated was pay to win. But he was on pay to wins on some of the worst games. That was the time of the worst cases of microtransactions and pay to win, like the Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back as far as pay to win. So
now it's mostly like confined to the live service games, which are kind of their own thing over there. It's huge, but it's also like if you don't play those, it's not that bad.
Chaos says, I have played Hades 2. It's amazing. It's insane. It's EA.
Early access.
Oh, early access.
Yeah,
I was thinking Electronic Arts. Why wouldn't it be good? Oh, yeah. I'm
Electronic Arts.
I'm very tempted about Hades because I have heard really, really good things about it. But we'll see. All right. Anyway, so shall we hit the news?
Yes.
All right, let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds News, the news and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Edie and Nikki Nicola. And our first item is...
So I think you probably have more of the bigger news stories.
I probably do.
I have a bunch of like small things.
Okay, so let's hit big stories first. Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. So, first big story. God, a bunch of them. All right, let's hit like the one that really is getting a lot of traction right now. So it is. I don't know if it's necessarily well. It's reportedly. Let's just say reportedly, Call of Duty is because now Call of Duty is owned by Microsoft ever since Microsoft bought Activision. They are reportedly set to add this year's Call of Duty to Game Pass at launch. That would be the first time that has happened for the series, and also the first time that it happened for Activision. So there are kind of two sides to this discussion of whether that's going to be the case. The question is it better to keep selling Call of Duty games the way that they always have been and let them be the pile of money, the ATM machine that they always have been, because people will buy them at full price? There's a known quantity of people that will always buy the Call of Duty. So they are a sure thing. They're a surefire bet. You know how much money you're going to make back. The other side is that if Call of Duty were to go to Game Pass, it would sell the shit out of Game Pass. Would absolutely sell the shit out of it. And that's one of the things that has been a real push for Microsoft, is to make Game Pass the dominant subscription model, essentially becoming eventually, I would imagine, a streaming service. That's what I suspect.
Yeah, that they want to. It's just that it's hard because they say subscriptions have kind of plateaued.
Right.
I remember reading about this a week ago when it was reported that this was in discussion. And a lot of that was like, well, Microsoft's in a bit of a trouble, right? Like their whole service within Microsoft is like propped up by Activision. Well, if we don't put it on Game Pass, that's a lot of sales that we can expect. That's a lot of money coming in. We kind of need that because like Microsoft is breathing down on necks to make a profit. So we could use that money. But if we don't put it on Game Pass, then that undercuts Game Pass. That undercuts the message that we've been sending for the past several years. That undercuts our entire business
model that we have built up and told everybody that this is this is the future.
But then it's like, is it actually the future? Because
that's a lot of money you're giving up. That is a lot of cash. That's a lot of ducats that you're not going to put in your pocket that you could really use. And I think it comes down to what they can. Well, reportedly, they've made their decision that they are going to put it to Game Pass. But this is something that, which of those two can they better sell to investors? I'm sure they would rather just put it on Game Pass because that is their business model. That is their goal. That is the future for them, and they know it. But they will have to sell the idea of giving up the cold, hard cash for the investment into the future and making that okay with investors. I don't know if, obviously they think they have. There is the way that they could split that baby down the middle. Unfortunately, that baby is going to be literally us, is that they put it to Game Pass and then they increase the price.
Oh, they're going to increase the price. Absolutely. Like that's a given.
Right.
They haven't announced it, but look, they're going to do it. That's the way all these streaming subscription services work.
Right. Or if they might have an added price to play Call of Duty specifically.
I don't know if they would single that
I
game
don't
out like that.
think
That
they
would be
could
too
do
much.
that. That would alienate the player base,
Yeah.
which they do have to be somewhat concerned about,
Well, yeah, because the player base is so small.
but they're devoted and they will buy it. They will play it
Yeah.
all day long, every day, and use the hell out of that tier.
Yeah. So, like, let's putting this in context of like all the other news stories about Microsoft. I've
Yep.
been reading about how the CEO of Microsoft, I forget his name. We talked about this last week. I called him like Satya Nadella, but it's Nadella.
Nadella.
Is it Nadella or is it like something else? And I don't know if it's like Satya
Satya Nadella.
Satya Nadella.
Satya Nadella.
That he has said like, I don't like exclusives. I want all of our stuff to come out on every platform. And I get the sense that he's a typical CEO guy that's like, no, we put it out on all the platforms. We'll make more money that way, right?
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Was like Phil Spencer's like, no, but if we do that, then people don't have any incentive to get the
Right.
Xbox. And it's like,
Phil Spencer's nothing if not strategic.
yeah, and it's like, okay, no, Satya, you don't quite get how the games industry works. And Satya's like, fuck off, I want money. And so I think,
yeah, he's a bird in the hand kind of guy, not the two in the bush.
Yeah, I think that this instance with Call of Duty might be one big experiment. This will be like the test of Game Pass.
Right.
I think if Call of Duty comes out on Game Pass and it doesn't boost subscription numbers significantly, then we are looking at Game Pass on death's door. Because I think the larger
right. You're
I
probably
think
right.
if that doesn't work, then the larger forces at Microsoft will be, look, you tried out this subscription service, it's not making us the money that we want it to, shut it down. Or
That's
no,
probably true.
maybe more likely they're not going to shut it down completely. They're just going to stop putting Xbox first party games on it day one.
Right.
That's what they won't do. They'll keep the service going because they've invested a lot into it.
I could see Phil Spencer having exactly that conversation with Satya Nadella, walking in and saying, give me the money. And it's like, look, give me 1 year. Just give me the first one. Just try it.
Let us put the Activision stuff on there and see what happens.
Right. We don't know what we don't know. And we've got to go with not supposition and not, guesswork. Let's try it 1 year. Let me put Activision first party games, including Call of Duty, on the PlayStation for 1 year and see what happens.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I'll wash your car for a year, and also we'll get rid of Game Pass.
So like I said, I don't think they'll get rid of Game Pass, but I think they'll stop putting first party games on it day one.
Yep.
But I do. I think it was Paul Tassi made a note that was like, a lot of Call of Duty money comes from the microtransactions after the fact. Like Call of Duty Warzone is already free.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets its money from microtransactions. So putting on Game Pass might not actually be leaving as much money on the table as people expect.
True.
Because that gets more people into the ecosystem, which means maybe they'll spend money on microtransactions.
Right. And that's probably exactly how he sold it to Satya Nadella.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I think we'll make more money because of this. They don't. What the Call of Duty money is not the sales price. The Call of Duty money is everything after the sales price.
Yeah. And it's still come out on PlayStation as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yeah, that's kind of the first big news. And I guess might as well just like dump into the second super big news because Nick has a bunch of small stuff. Take-Two, in a earnings call, shareholder call, confirmed this week that GTA 5. Why did I do that? GTA 6 will be launching. We knew it was coming out in 2025. Now we know that it is coming out in fall of 2025. There was some rumors of a delay pushing it from 2025 to 2026. That apparently has not happened.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, it was part of, like I said, part of an earnings report. Take-Two said, quote, I don't know the person who actually said it in the it might have been Strauss. I don't know. Maybe. But whoever was in that from Take-Two in that earnings call says, as we enter fiscal 2025 with positive momentum, we expect to deliver net bookings of 5.55 to 5.65 billion. It was Strauss Zelnick, yeah. Our outlook reflects a narrowing of Rockstar's previously established window calendar 2025 to fall of calendar 2025 for Grand Theft Auto 6. We are highly confident that Rockstar Games will deliver an unparalleled entertainment experience, and our expectations for the commercial impact of the title continue to increase.
I don't believe it. It's going to get delayed.
Yeah, it probably will.
Rockstar games always get delayed.
Yeah, they do. But that being said, I would rather have them because I'm kind of excited for this. I have
really excited
loved
for it.
every single Rockstar, every single GTA that has come out ever since GTA 2. So,
Ooh,
yeah,
way
I'm old
back.
school GTA. I'm very old school GTA. So, this is my Nintendo. This is my Mario. So I really, really, really am looking forward to this far more than I probably have for a lot of just about any other game, with the exception of, Dragon's Dogma, or not Dragon. I'm sorry, Dragon Age, which I'm actually not looking forward to.
Well, let's wait until we see something that might generate the.
GTA,
hype.
you're my only hope. But I would rather. That was actually a quote that was said by the guy that made Stardew Valley, and he's working on the what was it, Mystery Chocolatier, his next kind of game like
yeah.
that. And he said, I would rather make a great game late than a mediocre game on time. And I
Yeah.
agree.
There was like a famous oh god, famous, and I can't remember who's the guy that made Mario? It's not Hideo Kojima.
Not Ken Kutaragi.
It's not Shinji Mikami. Chat, help me out here.
Miyamoto.
Yeah, Shigeru Miyamoto. Yes.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
I think it's a quote attributed to him. I'm going to get this quote backwards. It's like, people remember something. They remember it being bad more than they remember it being late.
Mm-hmm. But if it's late and bad, they'll remember both.
Yes.
Oh God, they will remember both.
So yeah, I
Cyberpunk 2077, we remember both.
Yeah. I fully expect GTA 6 to get delayed, but I'm not worried about it. I'm still excited for that game. I think it looks cool. I'm looking forward to playing it. I just don't think I'll be playing it in 2025.
See, this is why I love GTA, because it creates sentences you would never say otherwise. I loved stealing cars for specific music and then doing blood donuts in the first GTA. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. 2025. Hopefully I might even be retired at that point, so I'll have all day to do it. But I will be taking the month off. I'm gonna save up all of my vacation time and use it then. All right, so that's my two big stories. Let's go with another little story from you.
Okay. Let's talk about some Square Enix. Square Enix is going to lay off some employees in America and European offices. They say that, this is all coming from them refocusing. I think they've also said that with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth selling less than they expected, they've talked about how we no longer want to do platform exclusives. We want to put things out on all the platforms because Rebirth was exclusive to PS5.
Right.
They're like, we want to put more games out anywhere. We also want to make less games to focus on quality over quantity. And as part of that, kind of downsizing in their output, they've closed a bunch of Western offices that involve, let's see specifically, they said, this restructuring, yeah, grateful.
This is why you prep a show, Nick.
I
This is why you prep.
I had the freaking.
This is why you prep more than just opening a bunch of tabs on your computer. This is why you actually prep.
No, I read the specific like offices where it would be affected, and now I've completely lost that paragraph.
All right. Well,
oh, there it is.
Okay.
Workers, people working in publishing, information technology, and the Square Enix Indie Collective specifically would be laying off.
Did they say what cities?
Not what cities, just America and Europe. I know those most specifics, but like,
yeah,
this feels like it's a lot of them pulling back from their Western developed studios to focus on the Japanese development, but also focus on less games, which I think is kind of a bad move because when I think about Square Enix, a lot of their most interesting stuff is their smaller stuff. When they try to like make a big budget game, they make Rebirth, which sold pretty well, got really good reviews, but also didn't sell as well as they wanted to.
Right.
They make not Forsaken. Was it Forsaken? The black girl gets teleported to a fantasy world with the talking bracelet. It wasn't Forsaken. It was for something else, but that game got savaged.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, 7. That was a good one.
Yeah. Anyways, Forsaken got like savaged by critics and reviews and everything. Okay. Oh, Forspoken. That's what it is. Thank you, Lambo. Yeah. So when they focus on like the big budget thing, they usually miss or hit like a single, and it's always their weirder, smaller things like Octopath Traveler or Triangle Strategy that are actually really good. And so when I hear them focusing on smaller, bigger games, it makes me really worried because that's not where their good stuff comes from. The good stuff comes from making smaller scale, weird, classic RPGs. So, yeah, I'm a little worried about the future of Square Enix.
I am looking up to see if Eve Yumo has done anything this week. Give me a second.
I didn't see anything about Eve. Although I will say this is a fun story. Excuse me. I had noticed, so the Delta emulator, the icon on iOS is the Delta symbol, which is like a triangle with a little slot missing, the Greek Delta symbol. This week, I noticed that the logo changed. That instead of having the Delta symbol, the upper part of it was like twisted. Almost
what game? What is this?
The Delta emulator.
Okay, all right.
The icon on iOS was a symbol of the Delta symbol, but now it changed to have the top just kind of shift to the side, like someone cut it out in Photoshop and rotated it slightly. And I was like, why would they do that? Well, turns out the Delta symbol looks a whole hell of a lot like the Adobe symbol.
Oh, I could see that.
So Adobe sent them a legal threat, and that's why the emulator changed their logo to have the little top just cut off.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which is funny.
Yeah, it is. It is. It does look just like the Adobe logo.
What's funny is that it's the laziest change. Here, let me. Can I share my screen so that I can show you the Kotaku article?
Yes, you should be able to.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are the two. Those are the two logos now.
Okay.
And Oh, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, those it
Delta
is.
emulator.
Yeah, that was bad.
You can see how they changed it. Just the like laziest Photoshop change. Oh, it's
So
not
that's the
making
old
it straight.
logo. Oh, okay. Now, hold on a second. Let me get this off the screen so you can see it. Let me put you as the person.
There you go. There you
think
go. You
so.
can see how they changed it.
Up, it went black.
Oh,
Now you have to go back in. Give it a second. Pull back just a bit. And cover your face. Now pull back just a bit. Back. There it is.
you go.
There we go. Oh yeah. They just cut it off and twitching it to the side.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. That's kind of cool.
And so I saw that. I was like, why did they change this? This looks so weird. And then it's like, oh, it's just because of Adobe. And they're like,
yeah, I can see that. To answer your question,
yeah, 5-minute edit.
Yeah, exactly. Ubisoft, what did Yves Guillemot do today? Do this week, according to Games Radar. He said, quote, I expect a lot from Gen AI in our games, and he thinks that'll make them feel more alive and richer. They are doubling down on this. I'm reading this out of Games Radar. Doubling down on their plans to integrate generative AI in its games. And Yves Guillemot also believes it might be used to automatize parts of certain jobs in the company.
So he's the CEO.
Yeah. So yeah, that it's essentially going to make, them more human, essentially replace people that actually write AI software for.
Yeah, but see, I don't actually believe that will happen, because I remember a couple weeks ago, the Stephen Totillo was testing out that a company that had actually made a generative AI character that you could talk with, and he was like, the conversation I had was actually really, really impressive. Like, holy shit, this works. But also, every conversation costs money. Every bit of dialogue costs you money, because the AI, you're sending it to the thing to process it and then send it back. And he's like, who's going to pay for this?
Right. It's going to end up, they think it's going to be cheaper than a human, but it's not. It's not going to be cheaper than paying a human a one-time fee, one time, to write the AI.
Yeah, because he brought up a great point, which is, this is someone who's been in the industry a long time, who knows how gamers think. He's like, well, if every conversation with an NPC costs the developer money, that means bad faith players could just spend 8 hours talking to an NPC just to rack up costs.
Absolutely, that would happen. I mean, these are the people that voted for Bodie McBoatface. They're and turned the very first AI experiment, which was that teenage girl that they put onto Twitter, and within a couple of hours of just like talking to her, turned her into a racist Nazi. They will do it just for the lulz.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to give us that kind of power. You don't. We will abuse it.
Look, it's a good thing that the Fable guy never got Milo off the ground. We would have done terrible things to Milo. That poor little boy.
Like I'm having a brain cramp.
It starts with a P. It's like Paul, Peter, Peter.
No,
Peter Molyneux.
Yeah. Milo. Oh, we were ready. We were ready for Milo. As soon as he saw that, we saw him like, that is going to be the biggest mistake he has ever made. So yes, that I agree with you. He's thinking with his, Yves Guillemot is thinking with his small head, not his big head. The small head that gets it hard for money. And without actually thinking about his way to essentially get hard for his crypto bros. That's what Yves Guillemot does. Thank you. Bitter says, I guess it'll be a single player live services game. Yeah. All right. So your next item is?
So Amazon, apparently with the success of Fallout, has decided to make some more game stuff. They've ordered a Tomb Raider show from Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who's the creator of Fleabag.
Oh, there's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
That is a
She-
very interesting
Yeah,
matchup.
she's done a lot of like script work on other movies,
Ooh.
and is like generally a pretty good, well-regarded creator. So I think that could turn out really, really good.
That might be really, I don't know if it'd be good, but I think it'd be really interesting to watch.
I think it'll be good.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think she'd make a good show.
I think she'll make an interesting show.
Look, interesting is good.
Not always.
Anyways, I look forward to it.
I'm like the only person in the world really didn't like Fleabag. I really didn't like Fleabag.
I never saw Fleabag, but I've
Maybe
seen
Give it
some of the
another
other.
college try, but yeah, everybody says it's genius, and I watched a couple of episodes. I'm like, I don't really like this person at all. I don't really want to follow her anywhere, much
I've
less
seen a
do
bunch of the other
story.
movies that she's worked on that have been pretty good.
Yeah.
And Bitter says, I would love a Sam Raimi Tomb Raider show.
Oh God, yes.
That
You know
would
what?
be weird.
I would love a Sam Raimi Cyberpunk 2077 show.
Boy, Sam Raimi would go hard with the body horror.
Yep. That would be super interesting. All right. So my next item is speaking of Strauss Zelnick. Strauss Zelnick, Rockstar CEO, aforementioned, who said that they're going to have GTA 6 in the fall of 2025, also did an interview with IGN, and nobody can figure out why he said what he said, because it makes no effing sense. So remember, like a week or two ago, there were documentations and things filed that indicated that Take-Two would be shutting down at least 2 studios, one of which being Intercept Games, which is making Kerbal Space Program 2, which is essentially canceling, for all effects, Kerbal Space Program 2, and Ollie Ollie World. Roll 7, who did Ollie Ollie World and also Roller Drum. 2 very well-respected studios underneath their, umbrella. Now, they didn't say that they were shutting down those studios, but the documentation, the legal documentation that they were doing, they were filing in order to fire people, indicated that, yes, they were shutting down all the studios. It's like the right amount of people at the right locations, at the right times. It all made sense that it's like, okay, these are the 2 studios, because if they did everything that they said in the paperwork they were going to do, it would be shutting down those studios, firing everybody in the studios. So, and of course, that was information that was acquired. It was not given to them by Take-Two. It was acquired because it was a public document that was filed with the government to fire people. So IGN was having an interview with Strauss Zelnick this week, and during the earnings call, IGN asked this question, and he was asked about the closures, the apparent closures of Intercept and Roll 7, and Strauss Zelnick here is his reply that no one can figure out what it means. We didn't shutter those studios, to be clear. And we were always looking at our release schedule across all of our studios to make sure it makes sense. So we are being very judicious because we are in the middle of a cost reduction program that we've already concluded and are now fully rolling out. We've announced that we are saving $165 million in existing and future costs, but we haven't shuttered anything. So we've cut costs by $165 million. We have concluded our cost reduction program, but we haven't closed any studios.
What does that mean?
Right. So, he was further asked whether that response means that the company was denying the reports about the, filings based on the public filings, the suspicions and the reports that, yeah, they must be shutting down these two studios. His quote was, "What we've said is in the K8 filing that we put out and we talked about the cost reduction plan is approximately 5% reduction in headcount worldwide, but we did not give a label by label breakdown of what that looks like." So that would make sense because, of course, there is our dear friend, our Lord and Savior, Jason Schreier, who very rapidly after that released the documentation that was leaked to him indicating that they were shutting down those two studios. So the information that he had reported on that those two studios were going under or were going to be shut down was a combination of this paperwork. And also he had a document that it was internal document from Roll 7 that was leaked to him. And after Strauss-Zelnick said that, Jason Schreier went to the source and got permission from the source to release that document to the public.
He basically had the receipts.
He had the receipts and he dropped them on Twitter. So nobody knows what he means by what he said because it doesn't make any sense because he knows that the receipts are there. He knows. It's like
he's saying, look, we're gonna close them. We just haven't done it yet. So
Right.
get off my back.
Right.
Why are you getting angry about something you know I'm gonna do tomorrow? Wait until I do it.
Yeah. But also keep in mind, I mean, they're very good. They've done this before where they fired everybody at the studio, but they haven't shuttered the studio yet. Still open, still live.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Nobody working there. Still there.
It's just an empty office. No, it's not even office because they got to pay for the office. It's just
one woman answering the phone. Hello.
No, I just imagine they take like the
Hello,
logo
Roll
for
7.
Games,
How can I help you?
and they just put it on a closet.
Yeah. So, but this is not. If this is the case, if they're doing that, which it smells like a duck, looks like a duck, walks like a duck. It's kind of a duck. I think this is not the first duck that they've had like this. I don't know if you remember, but 2K Marin, when they shut down 2K Marin,
I don't remember that.
That was the developer of BioShock 2. They shut it down. It was shut down in 2013. They still haven't acknowledged that they've shut down 2K Marin.
Really?
To this day. Nobody's working there. No offices. No nothing. But they still haven't acknowledged that 2K Marin is shut down. We've never closed a studio. We are Take-Two.
If we just say we've never closed a studio, we've never closed a studio.
We're 100% successful 100% of the time. So, yeah, that's the one where it's got everybody scratching their heads like, really? Really? Are you really saying that? But it was nice to see Jason Schreier just do like a mic drop dump.
Yeah.
Of the documentation.
Yeah.
To just make Strauss-Zelnick look because like when they did that with 2K Marin 2013, they really didn't have a Jason Schreier on duty with the receipts. Now we have that. And yeah, you can't that looks all kinds of bad. It makes you look just stupid.
Yeah.
You can get away with that in 2013. You can't do that in 2024.
Well, even just the optics of like, oh, we closed the studios, but no, we didn't close them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're still working.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know, it makes them seem very delusional. Like at least all these other CEOs are like, yeah, we're gonna fire 2,000 people. And they just owned it. This is like a weirdly cowardly way to go about closing a studio.
Yep. So I'm looking on the chat here. What is this about Wanda Whiners? Mad that she was dealing with that.
Talking about Doctor Strange 2. You're talking about Sam talking about Sam Raimi.
Raimi.
AC Wraith was like, people don't like Sam Raimi because they don't like Doctor Strange 2, and they don't like Doctor Strange 2 because of how Wanda's arc. And I'm like, yeah, those people also don't know what they're talking about. It's fine. Doctor Strange 2 is a good movie.
Oh, so that was you and AC Wraith getting into it in the chat.
Yeah, we were agreeing.
Okay.
We were
all right.
agreeing that Doctor Strange 2 is good, and that Wanda's
Got it.
makes sense. Her
Okay.
arc is deserved.
All right. So yeah, that was the Zelnick thing that happened today or this week.
Hmm.
Next.
Next, let's get into more of like fun stuff.
'Kay.
So there's a lot of stuff coming to Game Pass this month.
Mm-hmm.
Already available is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, the
Okay.
HD remake to that game.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually like a really good game from the 360 era. I don't know if you remember it. It's like a puzzle game where you're brothers on a fantasy journey, but you control each brother with the thumbsticks. So one brother is controlled by the right thumbstick.
This is sparking a memory.
The other brother is controlled with the left thumbstick. And so you're like, it rewires your brain
Yes,
in an
that's
interesting
why.
way.
Yeah. It was really hard for me to play. I could not split myself like that.
But it's a really, really good game with like a shockingly thoughtful, emotionally powerful ending that's like, oh shit, I didn't see this coming. Fuck you, brothers. Fuck you. So yeah, it's worth playing on Game Pass.
Okay.
Also coming out on the 15th, so it's out by now, Chance of Sinar, which I had mentioned previously. It's the puzzle game where the puzzle is basically learning a language, where you're running around this fantasy landscape.
Yes. That one that you played that you absolutely
Yeah.
love. Yes, I want to play that. It's free on Game Pass.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah,
there. It's there
I'm doing
now.
it. I'm doing
And
it now.
it's so good. Also, Immortals of Avum, that like indie first-person big budget shooter that came out and kind of with like no fanfare last year. People are like, this is a really underrated game, but it came out in like one of the greatest years of video games.
Yeah.
And so it just like completely flopped. But I've heard good things about it. So that's also out it's out now. It came
Okay.
out on the 16th. And then the big one, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, comes out on the 21st. That's in 3 days. No, 2 days.
Wow, that's a big get.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's Microsoft Studio.
I know, but still, it's a kind of a big game. That's a very big game to be coming out to Game Pass. That's kind of nice.
Hopefully.
Mhm.
And then some of the other ones, a bunch of smaller games. There's a Galactic Care, which is you're the director of an interstellar healthcare company. And so you basically have to like build hospitals and recruit staffs.
Oh, it's like
aliens.
what was a 4-point hospital, 2-point hospital, but in space.
But sci-fi.
Okay.
Haunty, which is just like a cute little puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
Humanity.
God, they got a lot of stuff on Game Pass, don't they?
Yeah, Humanity moving out to the other big one is Lords of the Fallen. This is the Souls-like remake that came out last year that I've played and I really enjoyed. Hey, if you like Souls-like games, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's one called Rolling Hills and Firework, that just smaller indie games that I don't really know much about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, big ones are Lords of the Fallen at the very end, Senua's Saga at the middle of the month, then Avum, Chance of Sinar, and Brothers are already out now.
Nice. All right. Let's hit another small one.
And then AC Wraith is already ahead of me talking about the PS Plus games catalog for this month.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes Red Dead Redemption 2, which is that big one. And then
they stopped the multiplayer on that, didn't they? They did something with the multiplayer that I wasn't.
I think they stopped
people happy.
I think they stopped updating it, but it's still like
it's there, but
it's going. It's just not getting any new updates.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then a game called Deceive Inc., which is like a multiplayer stealth game.
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead is the big one. Then there's like a Sims 4 expansion, Deceive Inc., Crime Boss, Rockhaze City, which I've never heard about. Oh, excuse me. The Settlers, which is like this is a Ubisoft game. A strategy game with built-up experience and real-time battles. Never heard of that one.
That sounds kind of interesting.
Yeah, Stranded, Cat Quest 2, Lego Movie, Watch Dogs. Look, the big one is Red Dead.
What is going up with Nick? Good Lord.
I don't know. I've got an itch in my throat.
Go get a glass of water.
I've got the coffee, but I don't think it's helping.
Go get a glass of water, Nick. Gargle.
Look,
I'm
we need water.
fine.
I've got a water bottle right here. I'm good. I'm good. That's better. Really hit the spot.
All right.
Oh, wait. Lambo says, look up Crime Boss Rockay City right now.
Okay. Crime Boss Rockay City.
What is this game? Okay, let's go to Wikipedia. The player assembles a team of criminals sent on missions to infiltrate, steal, and defeat enemies. The game features a cast of prominent actors, including Michael Madsen, Chuck Norris, Danny Trejo, Danny Glover, Michael Rooker, Kim Basinger, Vanilla Ice, and Damien Poitier.
How do I not know about this?
What the fuck is this game? Apparently, it received mixed or average reviews, while the PS5 version received generally unfavorable.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they made a big mess.
Many of the reviews wrote that most of the hired voice cast, despite their fame in movies, put in underwhelming performances.
This looks awesome. The trailer looks amazing.
Oh, let me see this.
Oh, the trailer looks great.
Well, is this supposed to be like a Payday like that?
It looks like a Payday, and you're fighting against. It looks like you're fighting actually against. Chuck Norris showed up and threw a grenade at you.
Oh, Chuck Norris is the cop. So is this single player? Is this single player or multiplayer?
It looks like single player.
Well, it's both.
Nick had the cat acting as his air filter this episode.
I mean, he's on my lap.
It's so mad. Oh my gosh, this looks great, except it got really bad reviews. I'm curious to know why.
This sounds awesome.
The movement looks kind of weird. It looks
new stream game just to like see how bad it is.
Yeah, we might have to play that. So how did that come up? Is it
it's one of the free PS Plus games this month.
Oh, Nick.
So we could play this no extra costs.
Oh, I think we found our game for this week.
Although wait, let me double check. I always forget the PlayStation levels. Is this like one of the free levels? Is this for PlayStation Extra and Premium? I don't know what those mean. What is PlayStation Extra and Premium?
They should just number them. Tier 1, 2, 3. They should just number them. But this does look kind of badass.
Okay, PlayStation.
I wonder if you actually get to shoot Chuck Norris.
Okay, I think Extra is the one we don't have because Extra is their Game Pass equivalent.
Right.
So Essential is what we have, and that gives you a couple free games a month.
Is this one of them?
I don't know. God damn, like why does look, I like the PlayStation, but Jesus, their whole naming convention is just one of the stupidest things.
Well, almost as stupid as Xbox's console naming convention.
You're right. You know what? Every console has a bit of stupidity. PS Essential free games for May. Let's see.
Oh, somebody got hit with a flashbang. This thing looks great.
Oh, no, it's not. This month we have Ghost Runner 2, Tunic, and Destiny Lightfall. That's right. We talked about those before. Ghost Runner looks cool. Tunic's cool.
So when do we get this thing? What is it called? Rockay City?
Rockay City. We would have to buy into PlayStation's Game Pass for a month.
Oh,
Yeah, premium's top tier, extras mid tier.
yeah. Might do
Well,
it.
okay, you know what? Let's see. I'm already
I
on the PlayStation
could.
website.
Yeah.
What is Crime Boss Rockay City going for currently? Well, if you have PlayStation Plus, it's $16. So it's not a whole. Actually, you know what? It probably costs about that much to upgrade to
Yeah, for 1 month.
extra for a
So
month.
you might as well buy it and keep it because that way you won't lose it.
Yeah.
Mm. We could do it. I mean, I hate paying $16 for a game that is not favorably rated, but
For a
that
bad
thing
game. But
looks
you know what?
great.
I'm looking at this like painted poster of it with like Chuck Norris and Michael
Oh,
Madsen and Kim
put
Basinger and
put it up on the screen. I wanna see. Just put it up.
I'm like, damn, that looks really
Put it
cool.
up. Don't talk. Put. More pudding, less
Look,
talking.
it's put. It is put.
All right.
Like, look at that. That's a cool looking picture. I would watch that movie.
Yeah, I would watch that movie too. Let's actually get us over here. I would absolutely watch that movie. That looks great. Wow. Danny Trio, Vanilla Ice. How could you not? If Edie's throwing money at games with 43 Metascore, I'm assuming my quest for guitar parts. Oh gosh. We might. I mean, yeah, he's got a point. I mean, it is $16.
Yeah, it's on sale too. Normally it's 20.
Oh. But we
We'll
might have
save
to put that on a wish list. Anyway, all right, next item.
Yes,
Next
okay.
item.
Next item. This is like actual really good news amongst bad news.
All right.
Redfall, the studio whose developer was shut down by Microsoft last week in the
Because they made
infamously
a
poor
terrible
timing.
game.
Redfall is
The
still
one
set.
studio where everybody that got laid off and like amid this mass layoffs throughout the industry, it's the one studio where everybody goes, kind of makes sense.
They will still give it one last patch.
Yeah.
And so that includes a revamped neighborhood and nest systems, single player pausing, an offline mode, and more. Unfortunately for Lambo, they don't have a release date. They just said we'll provide additional details soon. But it's still going to get its offline mode. It's still going to get its last patch, which is something.
I'm in a staring contest with the dog right now.
Is that the dog in the middle? Was that a backpack? Oh, that's a dog. Okay. Jesus. That's like one of those horror movies where it's like you're looking at a background and then all of a sudden a shadow moves. You're like, oh, Jesus, there's something there.
All right.
I seriously thought it was a backpack.
It's not a backpack. I mean, it could be a backpack. Wouldn't be happy about it. Would make you very sorry. All right. So my next item of the big news is a rumor. Gosh, it's we got 4 minutes. All right. Rumor. Valve is apparently working on a multiplayer shooter that I mean, this is like total rumor, but it's like a word on the street, word around. They've been testing it. And people, of course, are breaking NDAs and talking all about it. They've been working on it, had it in the works since 2018, reportedly. It's called Deadlock. And according to the various people that have broken their NDA and talked about it, the testers, it is, they say it's, let's see. Also verified by reporter Tyler McIver of via Eurogamer. It's a closed alpha playtest going on with hundreds of people playing right now. Quote, basically, it's a fast-paced, interesting ADHD gameplay combination of Dota 2, Team Fortress 2, Overwatch, Valorant, Smite, and Orcs Must Die.
That's such a big list of games. I have no idea how it all fits together.
Yeah, apparently it's, like multiplayer shooter,
Okay.
large scale, lots of people. And also there's some
Tower defense
tower defense. That's
elements?
the word I was like, some tower defense elements like Orcs Must Die.
Huh.
So Valve has not commented on anything because they wouldn't. But keep in mind that they're in a closed alpha right now, mid-May. And there is the Summer Games Fest coming up on June 7th. So I would wonder, because that would be kind of a great time. Remember, we are 1 month away from the E3 announce period. We don't have an E3, but the announce period still exists.
Yeah, June is still the month for that.
June is this month for that. So June 7th, Games Fest, hosted by Jeff Keighley. That would not be a terrible place for Valve to announce that.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I would imagine June 7th, they might even be announcing the open beta.
Man, Valve hasn't.
Sorry, a closed beta. They might be announcing a closed beta, and they're taking taking names for it.
Valve hasn't put out a game in a while.
They don't have to.
They don't have to, but
they do not have to. They
put
out games. They put out games for fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to break up the boredom of going to the bank with the money bags, the wheelbarrows of cash that they make by doing nothing other than running their service. They don't have to make games, but they do. And also I'll hit another one, another big item. Microsoft, laying off people all over the place, closing down studios, getting a lot of heat for closing down some studios, some really successful studios. And it does seem a bit odd that less than a week of Microsoft shutting down Tango Gameworks and Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Games, and Roundhouse Games, 4 studios, Activision announced a new Warsaw-based studio called Elsewhere Entertainment. They're going to be based in Warsaw. They're going to have some additional resources in the United States. It is a standalone studio that consists of developers who have worked on Last of Us, Uncharted, The Witcher, Cyberpunk, Destiny, The Division, and Far Cry. They are working on a triple. This is according to their Activision's, announcement. Working on a AAA narrative-based game, franchise game. And it's been given full access to Activision's resources and tools due to increasing production and development, and is hiring.
Yeah, we're shutting down these studios because we're a little top heavy. We can't handle these studios, so we're going to shut them down. We're also going to open a new one.
Yeah,
and we're going to hire a bunch of people
in Poland as opposed to in Austin. Also, keep in mind, devil's advocate. This is Activision, not Microsoft.
Activision's owned by Microsoft. They're owned by Xbox. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's as if Bethesda were to open a new studio.
It is. But Activision does operate independently of Microsoft. That is one of the conditions of the FTC filing. They say they intend to operate Activision similar to recent acquisitions. Creative operations will remain separate and continue to run as it did pre-merger. So this is sort of living up at least to the spirit of what they promised the FTC, is that Microsoft might be in the position of offloading a bunch of studios because it's got too much. It's got to get things off the books. But Activision isn't. Activision is actually opening studios because they're not too top heavy, and they do have the resources to do this.
They're like, we're the only reason you have positive numbers on your balance sheet.
Yeah,
So we're gonna open a
exactly.
new studio because fuck you.
Fuck you. Right. But it's like I said, playing devil's advocate, it does indicate that
Mm,
they are operating separately with separate goals, separate, like mindsets. Their business operations are separate. They are two independent
okay,
companies.
okay.
Just one happens to own the other one. They're not guiding it, they're just owning it, like a silent shareholder. All right. So next
Okay.
item.
That's pretty much it for me.
All right. Me too. Yeah. Let's see, you got all of them: Redfall, Delta Emulator, Square Enix, PSN Games, Game Pass. We did it. We hit it by
Yeah, I
4
believe
o'clock.
I hit all of mine.
All right. Thank you everyone so much for being here. Let me, should we do some music? Yeah, fuck, let's do some music. Let's lit it up.
Let's make the
Let's get
music.
crazy. All right. So it is 4:03. I do have to go to my doctor's appointment so I can see if I have an ear infection. So let's close this out. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 716. We recorded this on Sunday, May 19th, 2024. I'm Edie Seller. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us: gamehounds.net is our website, gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and now X, Twitter. So GameHounds under Twitter, The GameHounds on Twitch, GameHounds Vids on YouTube, and Facebook is GameHounds. So look for us there, and I'm going to see if we had quite a lot of people that were on all of those platforms, so we'll probably do it again next week. We would love to have you come back if you were already here. By the way, everybody who's here, thank you so much. It was especially seeing some of the old people like Lambo. I mean, Pist, you've been in and out, but yes, some of the people, some of the old names, please come back. We miss you. Discord, yes, please. If you are old, new, whatever, please join our Discord. We are our Discord is how you get a hold of us best and chat with us. It's where we make announcements when we're going live. It is when we make announcements now, so that when we're doing games that are open to you guys to play with us, we'll be putting it, even just like what stuff you shouldn't eat that you see at the supermarket. We've got a channel for that too. So feel free to join us there. Our where is it? There's our Discord. Please join our Discord. We would love to have you there. Also, if you're watching this, anywhere where you're watching this, any of those locations, please hit the like button or the equivalent. Sorry, hit the like button, the equivalent, whatever. Just get it done, because we would love to have you say that you like us. It does make a difference. We would like to grow this show just a little bit. I mean, it's been a while. We're in a growth stage. Also, if you are not subscribed on any of those or follow or whatever, go do that now so that you will know next week when we go live to join us. Also, shortly we will have all of our stuff up on our the YouTube channel. So, the iTunes channel. Our audio podcast will be back up on the iTunes channel. It will be updated soon. I hope you all have a great week. Take care. Bye everyone. Be safe. And see you next week. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bethesda got rid of 4 studios. Activision opened 1.
Yeah.
All working independently. All right. I got to go. All 22 of you are there. Thank you so much for coming in. We'll hope to see you next week. Next week is actually not going to be a short show, because hopefully I won't have to run off to a doctor's appointment. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.